Xbox Game Pass, here are 10 suggestions for the month of February, and while it would be normally that these games release throughout the month, all of them should be available since I'm so late doing the video this time around. So be sure to like the video, subscribing is great as well. So first off, we have Crossfire X. While the multiplayer component is free to play, which is what you're seeing here, there is actually a campaign element that is available through Game Pass. It's a fairly straightforward story handled by Remedy, which features some soldiers doing some combat in this unique scenario. And it's actually not too bad and a decent playthrough if you want to go through it and blast some things, see some different combative perspectives, and have a fairly sleek time as you're aiming to combat and generally figure out what exactly is going on, as a bit of a mystery reveals itself as you continue to battle along. And that in itself is actually quite interesting. This is Contrast. This is a very unique kind of shadow-based platforming game where you play as this shadowy figure that is the best friend to this, or make-believe best friend to this young girl, with some adult-type themes in regards to the narrative and the story, featuring a very unique visual aesthetic, some cool gameplay, a decent amount of a runtime, not too hard achievements to unlock if that's something you care about, and in general just a very stylistic sort of thing with music and design. It's fairly cool and something that is kind of almost Bioshock-esque, and it's neat to have this first-party title finally make its way onto Game Pass.
This one's big, Cat.
Oh, sure it is. Till it blows up like last time and the time before
Not
that.
Not this time, babe. I'm gonna make it all up to you.
I gotta get back on stage.
Then meet me after. I'm staying at the Excelsior.
But you think you're just gonna jitterbug your way back into our lives with a lot of sweet talk?
It's gonna be better this time, babe. You're gonna see.
This is Besiege. This is a rather cool early access or game preview title, so it's meaning that it's still in production in regards to the gameplay mechanics, so things will improve and change over time. But if you're not familiar with this title, it is a really cool siege weapon building game. You can make whatever sort of siege weapon you want. You can make it fly, you can make it roll, you can make it drive around, you can make it stationary. You can do all kinds of things to make whatever siege weapon you need for the particular task at hand. Sometimes you're blowing up structures. Sometimes you're just literally trying to take out troops. Other times you just need to get to places. There are a wide range of challenges, unique setups, and just a huge range of different weapons, options, and ways for you to battle and tackle the scenarios at hand. It's a fairly cool experience and actually something that I did find to be genuinely kind of fun. I think you might find it neat. This is Edge of Eternity, which is a JRPG experience, more indie-like in nature, but actually fairly cool in regards to how expansive it is. So this is a brother-sister combo. Years apart, they've come together due to this plague scenario where things are getting worse in their planet due to an invasion. It's very Final Fantasy-esque and decently impressive in regards to the particle effects, the combat, the cool cat thing that you can occasionally ride as a mount. It's actually pretty neat. It's a little over the top in regards to some of the narrative points. It's just it's a little savage almost at times with how it kind of deals with some of its secondary characters. You'll find that with the opening tutorial of it particularly, but yeah, it's actually kind of neat, visually decently impressive, and you might find this to be a rather enticing experience if you've never seen what this one has to offer. It's kind of neat. This is Madden NFL 22, the latest entry in the long-running football simulation series from EA Sports. It's got your typical modes, whether you are playing, regular exhibition matches, going and competing online, doing franchise modes, doing seasonal things, trading players, dealing with players, training players, which I think we said, I don't know, whatever there is, there's a lot of football here. Throw around the ball, try to get those touchdowns, score the points in this latest entry of, again, the very long-running series. It simulates the sport, adds a bit of an arcade flavor as well, and features a wide range of different modes, options, and in general ways for you to play and experience what the game has to offer, as I know a lot of people love this, because it's EA Sports. If it's in the game, it's in the game. And now it's finally coming to Game Pass, just like they do yearly at this point in time, basically. This is Death's Door. So this is like a pretty intense battling sort of game that's very atmospheric in its delivery. So it's got like a really cool musical vibe to it and a very distinct combat. Now, this is actually something that a ton of people love. It's very, very well received in regards to what it has to offer. And it's a very neat sort of game. It's an isometric sort of adventure title where you are a crow that's working as a reaper collecting souls for the commission headquarters. It's very distinct in regards to its design and what it offers gameplay wise. I think you might find this one to be quite intriguing because there's like puzzles, problems, and other things you have to solve in dungeon-like scenarios. So yeah, definitely a very unique offering. This is Paparazzi. What? No, it's literally a game where you go around taking pictures of dogs. Dogs in different poses, dogs in different outfits. You can set up the dogs to do different things like chase a bone. You can take pictures of some dogs. Some dogs are like, hey, I got goals for you. And then you take photos. It's literally a game where you're going around taking shots and photos of dogs. That's it. There's nothing more to it. It's sort of charming, it's sort of easygoing, it's fun, there's a lot of different ways that you build your prestige as a paparazzi, where you are literally taking the glamorous shots that the pups need you to take because, I don't know, the dogs like having their photos taken, I guess? Maybe they're all about the doggogram, you know? So get out there and help those doggos out and take some cool photos, because that is the way that we bark. This is Nobody Saves the World, which is another really well-received sort of experience. So this is a very quirky, weird, over-the-top sort of thing. Like, it's even from the initial gameplay that you're seeing here, that this game is just really, really strange. You're playing as this one character, and everyone here is kind of terrible you have to deal with. And it's like it's a top-down perspective, and you are a completely blank state character equipped with a wand, and then you could transform into things, and then you take on like procedural dungeons, so procedurally generated dungeons, completing objectives, quests, finding hidden things, gathering points, taking out enemies, and it's just like a very strange sort of game, that is for sure. So this is the Last Kids on Earth and the Staff of Doom. So this is actually a pretty cool hack and slash game for 4 players locally. It's definitely intended for the younger audience. It's based on a Netflix original series and or book series initially, where you play as these characters surviving in a very video game themed world where you are, basically where you're trying to survive. The adults are zombies, and there's giant monsters. Some monsters are friendly, some are not. You're kind of dealing with it, and dealing with these kids trying to make their way, and also grow up in this type of post-apocalyptic environment. The Netflix show's actually not too bad, but again, it's kind of a simple going hack and slash, but I had fun with it. Just kind of rolling through it and stuff like that, and I actually thought it was a decent experience. I certainly was kind of surprised by what it has to offer, but just remember the target audience for it. And finally we have Skull, the Hero Slayer. So this is a throwback sort of hack and slash type adventure scrolling game. It's kind of aesthetically cool, it's got some neat combat to it. It's got a bit of like, I want to say it's silly, but a little over the top sort of a narrative, if that makes sense. It's a pretty cool game, it's got some unique combat styles to it, and I think you might find it interesting. So those are the suggestions for the month of February. And we will, of course, come back next month with a new suggestions list, so I hope you enjoy. And once again, liking the video is great, subscribing is great as well, and I look forward to delivering new options and new things for you to check out and experience and play, because there's so many cool games on Game Pass, and it continues to deliver today, and probably next month as well, I would imagine.